Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and we've been kind of negative lately, talking about frustrations in Hearthstone, or just, shenanigans like that. But today I wanted to go over what looks to be some pretty good news for the game. Whereas the game modes itself, particularly Twist, have seen a real uptick, and I just wanted to go over some interesting stats shared by Firestone, a deck tracker out there, on how the game seems to be doing pretty well in respective modes, and just give an update on the whole Twist meta after Cthulhu went to like 80 HP and Arthas down to 20. Is the mode actually playable? Is it better? I will say right out before we get to it, it absolutely is. And if you enjoy the content on the channel, feel like I've earned your subscription, please hit that sub button down below. Give the video a like, it helps out a lot as we're on the road to 83,000 subscribers. And we're also waiting for that new expansion announcement. I thought it would be out today, but it doesn't look like that's gonna happen quite yet. Although if you've been sleuthing around on the Reddits, there's some words about possible returning cards to the core set, and just, yeah, there was like a weird little leak thing. I'm not gonna go over it. I want to wait until things are actually official, but yeah, we might be getting some hero power stuff in the core set temporarily. Regardless of all of that, I wanted to talk about, again, this post by Firestone. I will give his usual disclaimer as well. This is for Firestone users only. You shouldn't use this graph to infer anything about the popularity of modes over the whole player base. We're going to do that right now. That's what we're going to do, because it's kind of information. It's still relevant. I expected duos to be lower and Twist higher, but pleased to see how the new modes are being enjoyed. So yeah, he shared this graph which shows basically total hours played per day on, was this on June 5th? Up to June 5th and going all the way back to April. I'll link this down below if you want to take a look. My stupid face is kind of going to be in the way. I don't know how to move. Let's go down over here. Well, let's look up over here, right? Where we can look at the actual stats here. But basically what you can see is Battlegrounds Duos launched. It's been pretty steady with what it's gotten in player base. I didn't expect it to do amazingly well. I expected it to be niche. It's a co-op mode, not something that's really, driven in Hearthstone. Doesn't have the greatest ways to communicate. I'm actually surprised to see it at a number that's actually respectable towards OG Battlegrounds. You can see Wild is always near the bottom. It just, when you get very little support, it doesn't see a ton of play. And yeah, that's again the self-fulfilling prophecy of Blizzard not really wanting to enter it. I like how Tavern Brawl is actually tracked on here. And apparently the sample size is so low on mercenaries that it's not even included on this graph. But what I wanted to go over, which I think is just really cool, Arena used to be way down here. Ever since that legendary update, the Arena is one of the most popular modes, at least with Firestone users, but you see it a lot more. It seems to be way more popular. It trends higher than Battlegrounds on here, but again, there is that asterisk of there's like a draft helper picker thing in the Arena using Firestone, which I don't believe is on HS Replay deck tracker. Regardless, there's still Battlegrounds helpers too, but you can see that Arena has been just steady. There's barely even a decline. Like, it's just been a steady thing. And with the Hearthstone standard, the blue line here, obviously it peaked with the expansion launch. It got a little bit lower, but it's been really steady. We haven't seen a really large decline like you normally do when a set comes out, and BGs is just always steady. There should be a spike when they get their BGs update, which could be this week if it's updated, but likely we're expecting a Battlegrounds announcement, the expansion pre-order, all that any day now. It could be this week, next week, and they'll get a nice spike. But I wanted to just show this in comparison of this same data a while ago. This was back in the beginning of the year at January, and he's tracked it around like 55,000 hours or whatever. You'll note that he's had to use a higher metric as the hours played has steadily increased throughout the year, and we're just not seeing the dips I'm used to seeing, which is really nice, which shows a good health of the modes, especially Standard, Arena staying true, Battlegrounds got their little mini update, so got a spike. But overall, it's really nice to see. And the biggest thing I just want to point out, Ranked Twist was barely present here. It was like basically not a thing. Even though there was a season in November, it was so dead, it barely trended at all. It was so unbelievably low it barely tracked. But if we look at the twists this season with Whizbang's Heroes, it's still really low, but it's like insanely higher than the past few seasons. You could see the past few seasons twist would have been like right at the bottom, right there. Now we're actually seeing a spike of it being played. And if you look at like the leaderboards for the mode, it's a bit more promising. It's not amazing. There's only 146 twist America's Legends. If you compare that to like standard, there's 3,000. But if we go to twist and then go just back to like the season before it shut down, there was like, what? This was the best season they ever had, 298 by the end of it. It's on pace to absolutely dwarf that. And if you go back to that like November season, the 122, it had 295 total. So as bad as the numbers are for twist and have been, this season has actually seen some interest picking up. The mode is doing significantly better. It's still kind of pathetic and sad. But if you go to like Play Hearthstone Twitter, they're actually promoting the thing. They put out a tweet yesterday. I think there was another one not that long ago too, where they had John McIntyre talking about it. They're doing some work. They're trying. And I just wanted to give an update on the whole like twist meta itself. If you look at Donkey's broken down all the archetypes since the latest health update, you can see Arthas is no longer king, but unbelievably, still the 5th best deck. Arthas started at 35 HP, is down to 20. He basically dies if you sneeze on him. And he's still the 5th best hero. Play tested is something else, right? But you can see so many different decks are now viable. The Lich King, of course, the other Death Knight deck is the best, but you got Omu, Kael'thas, Nas, Arthas, Illidan, Bran, Alakir, Zarella, and Zul'jin, all exhibiting positive play rates. Zarella, I expect to go up whenever they finally do fix that Arthas bug, or they are planning on changing it so that if you get your health stolen, you could still win with Zarella. That should help it out. It's just funny to look at the bottom. Look who's still at last. 80 HP, despite having 80 health. Cthulhu is still absolutely terrible. And ironically, I think one of his best matchups, I think it's like the 4th or 5th best, is the Mirror at like 50%. Like he's just terrible. He just beats Demon Hunter because they don't have enough damage to kill him. And I think it's the same for like Rogue, and there's 9 games at Diamond through Legend. Like there's no sample size at all. So if you're looking at Twist, I know I got a lot of comments saying they didn't want to play because of Arthas, because it's too much. He is down considerably in power level. His popularity, he's not the most popular hero anymore even. Kael'thas has more play rate. So if you haven't tried out the mode, again, I do recommend it. More people are playing it. The play rate's going up, and just the modes across the board for Hearthstone are really steady and doing quite well, which is a good thing considering, yeah, we're going to be going to an expansion announcement pretty soon, and then there should be even more hype and more reasons to play the game. And I just want to say it's a pretty good time to get into Hearthstone, whether you want to play some arena, play some ladder, play some twist. There's a lot of different stuff to do. Battlegrounds duos, there is a lot of good stuff to do right now. Although I'm not loving the standard meta, I'm playing a lot of arena and really enjoying that, or played some twist, having some fun with that. Although legend queue times are really bad, and that kind of puts a hamper on it. But that's like for what, a couple hundred, like less than 200 of us to worry about right now. Anyways, let me know what you're thinking about all this stuff, how it impacts you or doesn't impact you. And oh, sad mercenaries, no longer even tracked anymore, but I guess it's all for the best. And also rip duels, that used to be tracked, and I guess the new twist mode is doing better than what duels was doing, so I guess they got that going for it. But man, I'd love to, you know, I just wish it was a duels mode. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.